Alright everyone, tonight we're going to do a review on a gold pay dirt called Kidpuke. It was a 15-gallon container. I have separated down because there's so much material. These are the large rocks, and then you have the small rocks. That's all the medium-sized rocks. And then I did classify it down one more stage further than that. That's not going to be in this review, but this is the fine material, and then one other section of rocks that we'll do here. We're going to use this in a review of a Miller table that we'll get out next. This is my son, Darren. He wanted to pan for gold in front of you guys tonight, so he's going to help out with the first part of the review. And we'll start with those big rocks that we have. So Darren's panned a couple of times. This will kind of give you an idea. Hold on one second. Let's put this underneath you. Of how a beginner pans. Pan everything over there. So pull it back and shake it all up. Okay, now lift it up and put the water in it. And I'll go through these again, guys, just in case you missed something. Darren, you're so quiet. You said you'd be so talkative.
Not really.
So this was $10.50 for 15 pounds, and then $10 shipping and handling, or $9 shipping and handling. Got anything in there, Dee?
No.
No. We'll do some more. Make sure you shake that stuff up good at an angle so you're getting all the gold to drop to the bottom. Tap it. This pay dirt I thought I'd have about a week ago, but the post office is so far behind. It disappeared on their radar forever. Okay, what are you looking at there, Darren? Anything? Tip it back, see if there's anything down there, the other way, towards you. No nuggets yet?
Yep.
Oh, what'd you find?
2 nuggets.
Those pretty cool?
Mm-hmm.
In fairness, guys, I added those 2 nuggets just so Darren could see 2 big chunks of gold. I thought he'd be more excited, though. I was way more excited when I saw my first chunks of gold that size.
Woohoo!
All right. The last of the rocks there. I would be pretty surprised if we saw any gold in this classification of rock already. It would truly have to be unsearched and pay dirt with nothing added into it. So as Darren's doing this, we can talk about panning technique as well. There's nothing. I just put the 2 in. And after Darren's done with these big rocks, I'll take over and pan the rest of the stuff down. And then he'll probably help me a little bit with that review of the Miller table we have coming up for that fine gold recovery. All those negative 50, negative 100 mesh gold, that fine gold. And I'll pan through, like I said, the stuff that Darren did here quick too before I start the other stuff. We'll pause it for a little bit.
Okay.
All right, so now we're going to get into that next classification of rocks. I'll try to do this fast. This is a lot of rocks that in this material. I screwed it down quite a bit, like I said, because we're going to do that review of that Miller table. And Darren's going to add his commentary from the back of the camera here. He's going to tell you how dumb he thinks I look sometimes, I think. Right,
Yeah.
Dee?
Yeah.
This is from Arizona, Kidpuke. He's an eBay seller. Does have a 100% rating. Came shipped in a medium flat rate box in a solid Glad bag. With, again, not his fault, but really slow shipping because of the post office. It should have been here a week before. In his fairness, he was in contact with me, trying to make it work out, trying to figure out what was going on. It's not like he was avoiding anything, just nothing he could do about it. It was the post office. See the color of that water, like those rich Arizona and Georgia sands, those red. You'll probably notice too, as we're going through this stuff, there's not a ton of black sand in this. That's because that's in the classified down amount of all the dirt in the container I was showing you guys before. We'll run that through the Miller table. That's where your heavies are going to be, in those small, fine black sands. Alright, so the first two little flakes of gold here. Nothing spectacular. We'll put them in the sniffer bottle. It's over there. All right, so again, just these couple little pieces here in front. We're in those rocks so far. But, you know, a decent sign already, some color starting to show up. You'd expect it to be a little bigger in this pan if it was nice sized flakes. Those are some pretty small microscopic pieces that just were stuck to stuff probably. And didn't make it through the classifier. So Darren, you panned in South Dakota before. Is it more fun to pan at home or where you guys went?
Home.
At home? Again, we're stratifying that material. That's why the grooves are there. You're letting the most heavy stuff sink to the bottom and get caught by those safety grooves. I do have a new Garrett pan on the way. that has some deeper affinity grooves basically. And we'll start using that. That's a good pan for, say, Darren, to start off with. The grooves are deeper. It's not as easy to slide material over. Not just Darren, me in general too. Saves you from panning things a few times because you're catching that material before it goes down. So this is the second classification of rocks still. So again, we're just going to stratify as much as we can off the top of that till we get down to what's left of the black sands from this area. And then we'll turn the pan over to the side. We're going to use that flush side to get a little bit of those lighters, just to let them wash away and not to build up on that. Alright. Down to the black sand. Couple little pieces showing up in this too. Getting real fine gold. No flakes. Would have expected to see maybe a flake or two in this at this point and what we're down to. You guys can see this, but we'll pull this black sand away. We'll get it right up in here. Basically this along here. There's those 10 or 12 pieces of little gold right there. See that through the video, Darren? No?
No.
Microscopic. That's why I put those 2 nuggets in there for Darren so you could see some gold. So what I'm going to do is, now we'll pause it. I'm going to go through and start panning down the next bit of rocks. They get smaller and smaller. And I'll just show you each tab each time we stop. Classifying the rocks, I'll pause it, show you what came out of that batch, and we'll just keep working the Paydirts down. And we'll let Darren pan a little bit more, probably too. So, we'll be back. That little bit is what we got from the next classification of all the rocks. So no flakes in this bag at all. Otherwise it wouldn't have made them through this far. So we'll pause it and we're going to go through the very last section of rocks for the night. And then the rest will be on the Miller table.
Did you suck it up?
Suck it up.
That's still going. Well, if my timer's still going. Huh?
That little flake there and a couple of fine little pieces is all that was in those very small rocks. The finest classification that I did. So this might be one of those good videos, or Paydirts actually, that I'm reviewing that maybe is functionally better for the table that's coming up. Again, that table that's coming up, it'll be in a separate video. You really won't hear me talk so much about Kidpuke, the Paydirt, and what's there. It'll really be a lot more about the Miller table, how it works and functionally, and the Kidpuke will just be a side effect of what we're actually panning down and using that machine for. But I will add at the end of this video, if you don't want to go through that next one, what we did get in total weight from it. Maybe I'll just show you real quick a couple pieces that were there, what we got out of it so far. Basically, you got that flake, and then those spines there. My grease on my hand is making the gold float, but that. So, all right. So we're gonna pause it. We're gonna get all this reset up. We're gonna get the pans out of here and get this little portable miller table in. You guys are gonna be impressed with this. This is a unit that they sell on eBay and other places, other units like it. In the neighborhood of $200 to $500, really depending upon what you're looking for with it. And these guys have some amazing prices, quality. They sent everything together: the table, the buckets, the pump, the pipes, the fittings, everything to get ready to go. And like I said, for you guys watching the review on the Kidpuke Paydirt, I will total it up at the end of this video, what we found in that next video if you don't want to watch it. But I think it'll be an interesting review on a great little affordable piece of equipment. And I think it's real fitting for this stuff, because as small as this gold's been, that's what that table's designed for, is to catch all this small, tiny stuff that's just so hard to catch in a pan. So we'll see you on the next round. All right, guys. So this is the wrap up of Kidpuke. 1 gallon container, nearly 15 pounds. That's all the finds, everything that I found from the first round. Not much to write home about here. I'll get it dried out though for us and get an accurate weight, and I'll be back to finish the review. Alright guys, so that's what we came up with. 0.1 grams. So roughly $2 in gold. Return on investment is going to be roughly negative 2%, return on investment, $2. It was actually $19, so less than a 1% return on investment. So worst return on investment I've ever reviewed. But as I said, there is gold in the Paydirt. He's not lying when he tells you. Everything's super fine. I used another table here to that out. I'm going to give him a 1 out of 10. Have a great evening. Don't buy Kidpuke.